Most people believe they are stuck because of their circumstances, their job, their location, their past, their relationships, their finances. But what actually keeps people stuck isn't their situation. It's a cycle running inside them that they don't know how to interrupt. Today we're going to talk about that cycle. Not as a flaw, not as a failure, but as a mechanism. I call it the human flywheel. A flywheel is something that once it's spinning, keeps spinning on its own. Humans have one too, and it looks like this. Thoughts become feelings, become actions, become reinforcement, become thoughts, feelings, actions, reinforcement. And this is the spiral. Once that loop is running, it doesn't require conscious choice anymore. It just runs automatically. This is why people feel like they're trying, but not changing. Now, the cycle actually appears to start with thoughts. Thoughts are internal narration, assumptions, memories, predictions. Most people assume their thoughts are them, but most thoughts are actually recycled, unexamined, emotionally charged, and a lot of them are completely irrational. And they arise automatically based on past conditioning. And the key thing to understand is, a thought doesn't need to be true to have an effect. It only needs to be believed. Now, thoughts don't just stay in your mind, they move into your body. This is where feelings arise. An anxious thought produces a tightness, an urgency, fear, or pressure. At this point, the nervous system is engaged, and once the nervous system is activated, logic is no longer in control. This is where people say, I don't know why I feel this way, I just do. But feelings are not random, they are downstream from a thought. From emotionally charged feelings, people act. But these aren't conscious actions, they're reactive behaviors. This is where people will avoid or overwork, react defensively, numb themselves, get stuck in cycles of self-sabotage, seek relief instead of clarity. Now, action taking under emotional pressure rarely aligns with long-term intention. It aligns with short-term relief. Now, actions create results, and those results become evidence. The mind says, see, I knew it. This always happens. This is just how I am. This reinforces the original thought, and now the flywheel is spinning faster. At this point, people confuse momentum with truth, pattern with identity. They think this is who I am, but it's not who they are. It's just a wheel in motion. Now, this cycle becomes vicious because thoughts feel like facts. Feelings feel unavoidable. Actions feel justified. The person isn't choosing anymore. They're being carried. And the harder they try to fix their life by pushing action, the more force they add to the wheel. This is why motivation fades, discipline burns out, manifestation feels inconsistent. They're trying to override momentum with willpower. Now, here's the most important thing to understand. You can't break this cycle at the action level. Changing behavior alone doesn't stop the wheel. Positive thinking doesn't stop the wheel. Forcing discipline doesn't stop the wheel. The interruption happens earlier. There's a small gap, a micro moment between thought and feeling, that's where freedom lives. When awareness is placed deliberately, not on the thought, not on the story, but on the presence itself, the thought loses grip. The body doesn't auto-react. Feelings don't hijack action. For the first time, action becomes optional. This is what mind regulation actually is. Not silence, not suppression, not control. It's choice returning to the system. Now here's the vicious cycle. A happened, an event. Now it's not so much what happens to you in your life, but it's what you think of it. So when something happens, it B makes you think something. Then you attach a story to it, which is going to C make you feel a certain way. And then you're going to therefore act or not act a certain way based on what thought you had and how it made you feel. Okay, that's going to make you believe something if you notice a pattern. Let's just use an example. I've tried to get in shape before. What happened? It didn't work. That made me think I'm not capable of doing it, which made me feel like a failure. Therefore, I'm not going to start that fitness plan this year because I've noticed a pattern of I can't be successful. And that's the flywheel. On the flip side, let's just say that somebody went to the gym, they were successful. It made them think thoughts that made them feel great, and therefore they kept going to the gym. And it makes them believe that it does work. Now, most people don't realize that they're not stuck in their life, they're just being spun. The moment the flywheel slows, clarity emerges, desire becomes honest, action becomes clean. So let's bring it around. How do we break the vicious cycle? Just because an event happens, A, doesn't mean you have to attach a story to it, which breaks the cycle of the thoughts which cause the feelings. This is why regulation comes before alignment, and why alignment comes before results. Now, at the next lesson, we'll explore how regulation becomes the foundation for aligned flow versus the vicious cycle. For now, just notice the wheel and notice the space where it can stop by bringing your awareness back.